a therapy session, dealing with pain and obsession. Why do we lie? Why do we try to hide everything until the day we die? Welcome back to therapy session. Today we just have one camera because the crew is sick. That's what I put it on though. Like
blame the crew.
It's always the crew though. I'm here, right? I showed up. And Gio has finally showed up. He told me he was stuck in traffic. I don't know if I should believe him or not, but like I'm happy that you're finally here.
I was working up the nerves actually. I was standing outside the door for like an hour just being like,
I don't believe you because I was already out to get a coffee and I didn't see you though.
See, I saw you coming out and I hid, under the bushes. So that's what happened.
Welcome to therapy session.
Thank you so much.
You were very like the when I asked you, you were quite like a bit excited and asked, okay, how is it going to be?
Yeah.
So now you will find out.
Now we're here to see. I've never done a podcast.
It's about time, man. There's always a first time for something, right?
It's very interesting. Yeah, very interesting.
So introduce yourself.
I'm Gio Green. I'm a musician. I've been with the DNA people for, I don't know, some time now. Just recently became a member, but mostly I'm a musician, songwriter, rapper, and just, yeah. I don't
How
know.
old are you?
How old am I? I'm 22 years of age right now.
You look pretty young though.
Yeah, I'm pretty young. Yeah, I just shaved today. This was a bad decision. I immediately regretted it.
Yeah, man.
Because actually, I'm doing an audition for today for a musical theater thing, and the guy is supposed to be 24.
Okay.
And last time I went in for the first audition with a beard, and they were like bought it, but they were like, "Oh, don't forget that he's trying to be older." So I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna grow my beard out." I forgot that shit completely and shaved it today, and I'm like, "Fuck, the audition's today." But and I think I look a lot younger without a beard. So
yeah, it's always like that.
Yeah.
Great.
But yeah.
So how long have you been doing music? Because like Let's Talk Open is like a therapy session here, as the name says. Like it's like you never use really a DAW.
That's not true. That's not true. See, I got GarageBand right now. You know what I'm saying?
Since when? Since you bought the laptop and it was in there, right?
Exactly. I've been using GarageBand for years.
Okay.
Years. I've always said I'm gonna change to Logic. You know what I mean? Because that's the natural step after GarageBand. And I've done a bunch of shit on Logic too.
Okay.
But I don't know. For some reason, I'm just like, for now, I'm good using GarageBand. I don't know. But it would be a necessary step in the future. But I've been doing music. Look, I've been playing, I started playing piano when I was maybe 7.
Nice, okay.
I didn't switch to the guitar, but I've been always playing like an instrument my entire life, really. Do you want the short version or the long version?
No, man, we have an hour time.
We have an hour, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I started playing the guitar. I switched to the guitar after the piano.
Again, how old were you when you started playing piano?
Piano, I was, I think 6 or 7.
You like it was a natural interest, or did anyone show you like, here you go and try it?
No. Honestly, I've always loved music.
Okay.
Like ever since I was a child. Like my earliest memories was like had always some association with music, And so actually from a very young age, I wanted to make music,
Okay.
And my mother played the guitar, and I always found that super cool. Like what I was saying, a lot of the memories that I have is, for example, my mother singing and playing the guitar to me as a child. You know what I mean? Like when I was
so you have a musical family?
Not really. My mother is the only one that plays the guitar. I mean, my father, he loves listening to music, and he introduced a lot of like the music curiosity that I have nowadays is because of him. but yeah, so I've always wanted to play music, and I remember there was even like a TV show that I really liked, and the main character, he played the piano, and that's why I went into the piano at
Which
first.
TV show was that?
I don't. It was some Nickelodeon. It was like a
Ah, okay,
band
okay.
of brothers. I don't know, some Nickelodeon stuff. Um, and then I switched to the guitar because I figured guitar. Like that's when I started watching uh, like Camp Rock and those other, and
Ah, okay.
everybody had like guitar, and I figured guitar players were like cooler, and they always got the girls, and it was the guitar player.
Okay.
So then I switched to the guitar, and I fell in love. I mean, I wasn't like the best at the piano. I really liked making music and stuff like that, but piano like requires some. It's not as groovy, and I'm like a groovy kind of guy, you know what I
Mm.
mean? And I feel like with the guitar, I can really like make a lot more different types of music, you know. So I instantly fell in love with the guitar, and ever since then, at some point, I think if you play a lot of instruments, at some point you want to start playing, making your own music. You get
Mm.
tired of like playing other people's
Of course.
songs, and I've always had a very musical ear. Um, and it just came naturally. I started writing songs when I was like 12, you know what I mean? Like
Nice.
little hooks and stuff like that. And then getting more into rapping and releasing songs. I released my first song 2021.
Nice. Okay.
My second song I released 2023.
What's the
So,
title of the first song?
first song,
Yeah.
um, Place They Can't Spell Happiness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it like just singing melodic and with the guitar, or is it like really
It has rap as well.
has rap?
It's like singing hook,
Okay.
rap, like the verses.
And you
And
produced it
then
yourself, or?
that was so that's when I got into like actual production,
Okay.
was more or less around the 2020, 2021. I had a guitar teacher at the time,
Hmm.
and my parents were paying for guitar classes, right? But like at a certain point, I told the guy, "Hey, like I said to you, I'm kind of tired of like just coming here to these guitar lessons really without a goal, you know, because like there's not really much that he could teach me at that point."
You take my money for nothing.
Exactly. I felt like it was just kind of stupid, you know what I mean?
You already he already taught you what he could, and the rest was up to you. I
I
think
mean,
from that point.
listen, the rest we were doing, most of what we were doing was just like playing songs that I could like look at the tab sheets online at home. You know what I mean? I was
Mm.
going there to look at tab sheets with him, and then we would just practice. I found that was really stupid, and like I was going like unless I was gonna start training to do like really like classic guitar, which
Mm.
that requires a bit more training. That's not my goal, anyways, and that's not what I was doing with him. So I told to him like secretly, like not really telling my parents. I was like, "Look, I've written a couple of songs over the years. I have like at the time, like two or three that I like are pretty solid. You know what I mean? Are full songs that I already have like everything in my mind in terms of like arrangement and stuff like that. And I know that you have a recording studio at home." I said this to the guitar teacher. So how about we just tell my parents that we're still doing these guitar lessons? They pay for that, and instead I get some studio time with you in your
Nice.
studio at home, right?
Okay. Smart.
So I thought that was pretty smart. And then and he was like a cool guy, and he was like, "Okay, cool, let's do that." In the meantime, like no, this was pre-pandemic, but like then we started like, for example, I was telling my parents that I was going to lessons every week, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? And then truthfully, I was like going out with friends, you know what I mean? And then I'm in guitar class, and then like at the end of the month we'd have like a accumulated all those hours that I should have been in guitar
Okay.
lessons, and then I had like a good studio time, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So I did that for for like a year. Um and then I recorded with him like 4 songs, you know what I mean? But it was mostly like with him that I kind of like figured out like my groove. I also learned a bit about recording and stuff with him a lot. He used Logic, you know, for example.
Hmm.
But the sessions were mostly like me telling him what to do, me telling him how I wanted the strong structure to go, and of course we debate as well. But it was mostly like just learning how to take what's in here and putting it in
Figuring out like
in the exactly.
okay.
So then I did, like I said, a couple of songs like that with him, and now I got my own shit at home. You know, I got my own recording
Equipment.
equipment at home and stuff like that, and I'm starting to do those songs myself as well. The last one that I recorded was fully done by myself.
Okay.
I have the one that I recorded that was with my instructor at the time. I have like 3 others in like the vault that I have in like, because those were like not as good. I don't know. I don't.
So how many songs have you released so far?
Only 2.
Only 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the second title?
When I Look.
When I Look.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that one is less rappy. That one is more
Singing.
yeah, melancholic, like sad boy singing kind of stuff.
Okay.
You know what I
Where
mean?
does the inspiration come from? Like overall when you do the music? Is it like, I assume that you sit at home, sometimes you just make some beats, but you don't necessarily put it out or finish it, because this is how I used to be at some point
Yeah.
when I was just doing beats, but not doing anything with it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for me, not so much beats, because I'm not so much like when I actually produce a song nowadays. Before I used to do a lot of beats and stuff like that, but nowadays when I produce a song, as in like when I sit in the computer, it's for something that I've already like pretty thought out pretty extensively. You know what I
Okay.
mean? But I think it relates to what you're saying, in the sense that I have a shit ton of like ideas in the guitar. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
Like
yeah.
riffs and a lot of hooks. You know, that just aren't developed. You know what I mean? I could develop them into full-fledged songs, but I think it would be the same thing as your beats, that like it's beats that you could make something out of,
But you don't.
but you don't, because there's just
It's
too
not
much. You know
feeling
what I
it
mean?
sometimes. It's just like that. You
Yeah.
felt like the rhythm, you felt like the overall melodic thing, but
Yeah.
something is missing to trigger it to write
Yeah.
something to it or
I
whatever it
mean,
is.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's but at the same time, you can come back to it later. I've recently come back to a song that I wrote when I was like 16. You know
Nice,
what I
okay,
mean?
yeah.
And I just performed it last week here at the, or no, actually no, 2 weeks ago here at
Yeah.
DNA, and like it was a very personal song, and I changed it up a little bit. It seems like I have to, I changed it up a little bit, you know what I mean? And it was like a completely different, and I fucking love this song now, you know what I mean? And it got a really good reception. So I feel like it's also, maybe it's just not in the moment, you know, but in a couple of years you can revisit, and then you can finally find that missing piece
Yeah,
of
it's
the
sometimes
puzzle,
like
you know
that,
what I
yeah.
mean?
Because I released a few songs last year that I wrote about around 2016 or 2018.
Yeah.
So last year I was feeling it. So
Exactly.
I finished the whole thing. It was already written. The beat was
Everything was
finished.
done already?
Everything was done, but I didn't just feel the vibe to it. So I was like, you know, I just had it on my hard drive somewhere, and I had a few songs like that. I still have a few songs that are from 2016
Yeah.
still on my hard drive. I'm not released yet.
But why didn't you release it at the time? Like, 'cause a couple of songs that you didn't feel and you didn't release, that seems like a lot of work that went into those songs.
Not like while I was producing it and writing it, I felt it then. But
Yeah.
like for the time to release it, I didn't. There are like a few very personal songs that I have, and when I listen to it right now, it's not as the same time when I wrote it.
Okay.
Right now, because I'm in a different state, maybe that's why. And I also feel like this song should come out actually in the winter times. You know, it's more.
I completely understand that. That
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
It's more of a like one of the songs is called Motivation though, but the content of the song is like how I grew up and what I've been through at a certain age.
Yeah.
And is mostly kind of depressing, but at the same time it's like when Tupac said the rose that grew from a concrete, like you come out of all this negative environment and like all the bullshit around you, like that's, but I didn't still feel like to release it yet.
Yeah. Okay. But you felt like the song was the rose in concrete. It was like the beauty that comes from the pain.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's called Motivation. It's like it doesn't matter how often I got beat down, I still have the drive to go. I didn't
Yeah.
let me like the depression beat me down, or the surrounding to drag me into the darker
Yeah.
places.
Yeah.
But I still don't have the feeling to release it.
Do you think it's still a very like personal song to you?
No, it's not about that. Like,
No?
I've been always open to talk about, because I've learned in my life, the more I talk about something,
Mm.
because if you want to really have a proper therapy session with a therapist,
Yeah.
I don't know if you have ever tried.
Yeah, I've had a couple, yeah.
Okay, but first of all, to get the appointment,
Yeah.
it takes a while, until some people wait a year or whatever for it. That's
Like
one.
to
Just to get
find the
it.
courage to book the apartment?
No,
Or
no,
just
just to, because so many people need a therapist, and they know it, and they're like, oh yeah, the next appointment is in 6 months. You can come by, depending on where you live, and
yeah, okay.
that's one thing. The other thing that I learned is, because I come from war, and then for me was, the more I talk about something, it will help me to
Get over it, kind of.
get over it, and to help other people who think they have big problems, which is like,
Yeah.
compared to that, much smaller, and then they
Yeah.
reflect on it. They say, hey, actually, because back then when I went to school, I had some couple of friends back then who always said, my mom doesn't let me do this, they don't let me do that, I'm not allowed to stay out until 12.
Yeah.
And I was like,
There's serious shit going on.
yeah, exactly. And they were like pissed
Yeah.
about their parents. Fuck my mom. Fuck my. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, how can you talk about your parents like that? They're
Yeah.
just about concerned about it. Then when I told them about some random stuff that was going on back then, the way I grew up, they were like, you know what? Just go home now. That's the thing for me. So it's not about. It's too personal to release it. It's more about, I just don't feel it right
Just
now.
don't feel it. Yeah.
Because like, I also wrote the song. It's called Therapy Session.
Yeah.
I wrote this song also around 2018, and I listened to the song. I was like, I don't feel it.
You didn't
And
feel it.
last year I was feeling it, so I just put it out. That was it. Sometimes I think it's just a personal thing of if you can vibe to it or not. Because
Do you like mix and produce
all of it, yeah.
everything yourself?
Yeah.
So how long do you sit with a song?
I learned to get over it a bit quicker than before, because sometimes it took me a week or two or whatever. Because I was
To
like,
like make this? No, I mean like how long do you like from
so writing.
recording to yeah, I guess from recording to having the song finished? How long, more or less?
Let me put it in this perspective. Like, last year on, I think it was January, I wrote about 20 songs within a month.
Yeah.
And then I just, because for my last album, I think I'm repeating myself on these podcasts right now, but
You can
people,
cut it.
yeah, they just can skip it or whatever. Before that, I was always doing the beats myself.
Mhm.
But for me to do the beats, to make it the way I want them to be, and then to do the recording, the mix, and the mastering, it took like, for me, each song took a week or two.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So it took a long time. So the last songs that I dropped,
Yeah.
it was, I think, about 10 songs that I dropped.
Yeah.
It was like, I think 2 of them are my beats, and the rest I just like got them from some producers.
Okay. Okay.
So the process was
you
quicker.
mixed it yourself
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
And even this
Okay.
is like, also I said it before, like I was back then, I was kind of neglecting the option that you can save a preset of mixed.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm still trying to, yeah. For me, that's been the mindset this whole point. This whole time, I'm like, I need to get that preset so I don't have to like do anything else. You know what I mean?
So,
as
yeah.
soon as I get that preset, we're golden. I can release 30 songs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the other thing was, I was trying too many plugins.
Yeah. How
Because-
long did it take you to like get to a point where you were confident with your like setup?
Look, I started making music around 14 or so, and
Yeah.
I had with a friend of mine, we used to have a music studio around 16.
Yeah. You
And
had
then-
a music studio?
Yeah, a proper setup and everything.
At 16,
Yeah.
like yours?
Yeah,
Or
with this friend of mine. Like we both
dang.
like worked for it, got some money, and then we set up a proper studio with heavy equipment,
Okay.
which we didn't know how to use at the beginning. We're just like, okay, now we have this. It looks like Dr. Dre's place. Now what do we do with it?
Just press random buttons until something pops
Now,
up.
but I have to be honest, like this friend of mine, we're still best friends. He like got the instructions for it. I wasn't into like reading this whole stuff. I was like, let's just like trials. Like, let's
Yeah.
just go by doing it and let's see what happens. But he was
Yeah.
like, no, we have to go through it. And then he started with all the turning the knobs right
Yeah.
and then using the DAW and whatever. So I learned from him how to set up these things.
Okay. Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
was because I wasn't more, I didn't have the patience to just
Go
get it.
through all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It is a lot. Yeah.
So for years, I was like just producing for people, for other musicians, rappers, singers, and the payback wasn't that much. I don't mean just necessarily like financially. I mean like also the appreciation for the work
Yeah.
and being mentioned in the project that I've done.
So you were selling beats.
I was selling beats. I was working with artists, and I was just like overall connected to the people. And at some point in time, I didn't get the, let's put it like this, I didn't get the love that I needed to keep going with these
Yeah.
people. So I had to cut the ties with everyone.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck all that shit. Now let me be depressed for a while, you know? Get over like this. Because I grew up my mom always told me like, be generous, be kind. If you do that, things will come back. And it wasn't necessarily that I was expecting something to come back, to get something back. It was just like, be kind. This is how you get programmed a certain way.
Yeah.
So people took advantage of that. So I had to like come back with more like distance and say no.
Yeah.
And yeah, it took me, how long did it take me to get to that point? Because I'm still struggling sometimes when people ask me, can you do this? I'm like, yeah.
Okay.
Now, some things I just like, I have to prioritize my things.
Yeah.
So that's why 2018, I was like, okay, fuck all of that.
Okay.
I have so many lyrics that I've written, and I have the flow. I have everything that I need.
Was it, let me ask you, before you like made the switch to start like rapping and stuff, was it like did you ever like give a certain beat and think, ah man, he completely fucked it up? I could have done like
Definitely,
I feel like that's every producer like that wants to rap always has that mindset.
Now, the
you know
thing
what
is,
I mean?
I also sometimes just wrote the whole lyric and I gave them the flow. And they still fucked it up though. Because people were asking me, why don't you do the rap thing? I was like, I would love to, but right now I'm just like focused on the production.
Okay. Yeah.
That was the thing. Like,
You're like Kanye. I'm seeing Kanye similarities right now.
could be, I don't know that, but like the thing was, I was also like preparing this. I went into to the booth, I recorded the whole thing, and I gave them the thing. I was like, this is how it could sound like. And then they took it. I was like, just, it's not like you don't have to do it 100% the way I do it. Just take something from it, put some of yourself in it.
Yeah.
But when they put some in itself from the self, it was just like completely fucked up. Yeah.
Okay. So then you decided to rap yourself on it.
And I was like, fuck everyone. Just like, because I don't get the recognition that I deserve.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes if you don't get the recognition, it's like a beatdown for you, because it doesn't matter what you do. And you tell people, oh, I produced that shit. And they're like, where's your name on it? There's no name. There's no mentioning. So there's none of these things. At some point, you get beat down. At some point, you're like, okay, just fuck it. Like, let me distance myself from all these people. And then you start your own thing. Or some people just get regular jobs. That's what my best friend did, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I hear, like the dilemma of producer is, you know, in the industry. You know, it's like the lack of recognition, the lack of appreciation and compensation for a lot of producers, you know, like even on bigger scales, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of songs. I mean, there's like a couple. You can name like 10 producers that are like in the game right now, but
Mm.
you can like name like I mean you can name like 10 producers, but there's like way more songs that are out there
Definitely,
that are
yeah.
huge, you know what I mean, that aren't made by those producers that people have no idea of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even like with the there's producers and then there's people that send things to the producers and people that send things to the send,
Hmm.
you know what I mean?
I know, yeah.
There's the ladder goes so far down that
Yeah.
it's like it's a very uncompensated like part of the music industry to
Yeah.
be in.
You just have to like be raw and rough and just say like,
Yeah,
no, either I want it or give
exactly.
me my things back.
Yeah, yeah.
But coming back like to your inspirations, where does it come from?
Um, I'll say writing lyrics, literally from anywhere. Like I can't point out like an inspiration, when writing a song. Besides the fact that I mostly like,
Don't
uh,
write lyrics because this is what I witnessed yesterday.
no, that's completely false. That's completely false.
Let me cut you off for 1 second. So yesterday went into the studio with Ali and we made an incredible song. And he laid the hooks. Love the voice, but the way he came in, I was like, "Where's the lyrics?" And he's like, "Yeah, I don't know, somewhere." Yeah,
Here's the thing: when you're a genius, you don't need to write lyrics. You know what I
yeah,
mean? You have it
sometimes.
stored up here.
Yeah, some words were missing though because
Nah, no, for fill in. You know what I
nah, but
mean?
it was nice though. It was nice. You just came in, you just did it. That
But the
was
thing is,
nice.
like, I literally like I had like my parts of I didn't know what the hook. Like, I have to hear the verse in order to like fully write a hook. You know what I mean? In my
Mm,
opinion. So I wanted to see what you were like talking about. Like I had like words, keywords, and this is something that I actually do a lot of my music writing. Like I have keywords that are like that go with the flow, for example, that I want like in a specific
mm.
spot. Um, but then there's like and that like make the most important part of the melody, for example. Um, like when I was like, I let the crowd surround
Mm-hmm.
me and my strength. That was like written, but then what came after was something like no, 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 no. It didn't. It's not as important for the melody, like how that word is structured. So
Okay,
like I
okay.
left that for like it could be a lot of different things. Like we said, coming home, let you know, no, no, no. So that's why I didn't have like those parts written, you know. But I'm explaining this in detail because that's a lot of my writing process.
Okay.
Like I'll like play a guitar, you know what I mean, and do like a melody, you know what I mean, and I have like an idea of how I want the song to go, like a general um
Structure of
structure, not structure, but it's general
the vibe, the mood.
yeah, a message that I want to
Oh, okay.
communicate in like a song, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll have like keywords that are in that message that then can like manipulate into a chorus and something like that, you know, like build it out. But songwriting inspiration comes from everything. I've watched the movie, and there was like a really cool line in the movie that I like. Place They Can't Spell Happiness.
Mm.
That was a movie. What's it called? The Pursuit of Happiness.
Mm,
And Will
okay.
Smith said, "I gotta catch the train at 4 to the place they can't spell happiness." And I paused the movie, and I'm like, "Hold on,
Let me
that's a."
roll up a blunt.
It was already.
Okay.
But I'm like, hold on, that's a really cool line. And then I had the guitar with me, and then I was like, I gotta catch the train at 4 to the place to catch. There's like a melody there, and then I was like, I gotta catch the train at 4 to the place they can't spell
Yo, Ali, come
happiness.
and show your face.
And then from then on, I was like, I built the whole song off of that line. You know what I mean? The line, like in my song, has nothing to do with what Will Smith
Yeah, I get it.
used it as, but
Okay.
it's like that's just an example of inspiration. A lot of another thing is like I like you have your life events. You know what I mean? Like shit that goes on in my life that I like want to communicate somehow.
Mm,
But at the same time, I like make it fantasy. You know what I mean? I exaggerate a lot of
okay.
stuff, so it's not like a diary session. You know what I mean? but I really like taking inspiration from actually most of the songs I write about. It's like shit that's going on in my life that I like afterwards might embezzle or exaggerate in some
Hmm.
aspects.
Okay, tell me about like your birthplace and how's your family overall like.
It's very complicated.
Okay, let's start with the birthplace.
Birthplace, Lisbon, Portugal.
Nice. Okay,
Yes. Um
so you mixed.
yeah,
Cape
I'm half from Cape Verde.
Verde is
It's an island in Africa,
okay.
off of on the west coast of Africa,
Okay.
like off of Senegal, more or less.
Okay. Okay.
Um, and half Portuguese. Um, I was adopted at the age of 4, so I was like born into like there in Lisbon into like a like around the age of 2. I was put into like the service. What's it called?
Um.
Like
Like.
childcare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then at the age of 4, I was adopted to white parents. And then I moved from Lisbon to Porto, which is where they lived. And I lived there for 2 years. Then I moved. My dad. Okay, that's where I was born. Yes,
Okay.
you can ask further questions
Okay.
now. I could like let's make this more of a
But
conversation.
it's interesting though. Like you seem so happy, like as if you were just like grew. You were born in a happy home and that's it. Like.
I mean, um, like I learned. How do I put this? I learned to be like. Okay, I was gonna say because of my dad's job, we had to move around a lot. You know,
Okay.
he was a diplomat, and so we moved a lot, like every 3 years in my childhood. So my life has been like kind of uh, like separated into kind of like seasons, like I call them. Like
Okay.
depending on the country, that was like a season. You know what I mean? So it was a lot of division. So a lot of like having to um, like be reintroduced into different groups and stuff like that, which requires like some sort of like a lot of me socially, you know what
Of
I mean?
course. Yeah.
And so I was like pretty able to like be a pretty sociable person and somebody that's not like tries to be like at least a good atmosphere, you know what I mean? Like because I constantly had to move around and make new friends and adapt pretty quickly, you know?
So you're pretty open, just like
Yeah,
to
I think
approach people also.
yeah, I'm pretty
Nice.
approachable. I'm somebody that like I'm probably not gonna make your day like a bad day. You know what I mean? Like talking to me is probably not gonna make you frown. You know what I mean? That's how I like to put it. I like to be like somewhat
Nice.
charismatic and stuff like that.
And my
So
mom always said like some children, she calls them happy go lucky. It's
yeah,
like they just, it doesn't matter what they're just happy. They just smile and
yeah, yeah,
and the thing is, if we don't have these sessions, we would never get to know each other like that because I would not know that you grew up a certain way. For me,
yeah,
like because people perceive something else from someone who they meet. So for me, it was like this guy maybe is born in America and then
yeah.
like with a perfect picture of the family and every Christmas was full of gifts and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
and then you don't know the background of it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
To be
much more
honest,
interesting
that's like somewhat.
how it turned out to be.
No, I mean not really, but it's like somewhat deliberate of me. You know what I
Okay.
mean? To like like I present myself in a way that I want to present myself, and like the fact that you think this way of me is like a deliberate thing. You know what I mean? Because I don't
You can tap
necessarily
on your
want
shoulder,
to.
say, "Good job, I did it."
No, but it's because I don't necessarily. I've learned to. I don't necessarily want to portray like a difficult background kind of a
Yes,
thing.
it's
You know what I
alright.
mean? Like because I don't necessarily. My story is a very long story. You know what I mean? And if I have to explain my story every time I talk to somebody, you know what I mean? It's like a whole thing. You know what I mean? So sometimes I just keep it like casual, and like I want you to perceive me in this way because that's just the way I want to like the
But
face I have. You
I
know?
would say this is also because you are like that. Otherwise, you would just like play down your personality, but you're overall happy and
Yeah,
you're happy with the place
yeah,
that you're in and
yeah,
the situations. I mean, it's the same thing again with the rose that grew from concrete. You know, see,
yeah,
that's the thing.
yeah.
You're happy overall. That's the good thing.
You have to be. You have to. I mean, there's so much things in life that like you can focus on the negatives, but you can. I can focus on my past, but I can also focus on my future and like
Definitely. What can I do
and
even
where we
better?
are right now. Like
Yeah.
this is amazing. DNA is like a great place. You know what I mean? Like I can't be sad here. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? This is where I'm on stage performing. This is what I fucking love to do. You know what I mean?
I mean,
So
coming back to the reference of the rose, like it doesn't care about the soil that comes out from, like it will have scratches,
yeah,
but it just tries to like go towards the sun, like, and it opens up.
yeah.
So it doesn't matter to the rose how the leaves look like or the petals.
Exactly.
So
The rose is facing up. It's not facing down.
exactly, yeah.
It's facing the future. Come on. That's what it has to
Except
be.
when water is missing, then they go down.
Yeah. That's my weed. You know, water. No, I'm kidding.
No, you're not.
I haven't smoked today. I
You
came
have not?
stone cold sober for this.
No, you came stoned
No.
from yesterday.
You're giving me a bad look in front
No,
of
I'm
the
not.
audience.
I mean, why? Does Snoop has a bad look? No, he doesn't.
That's true. My name's Gio Green too. I mean,
Okay, ask me. I wanted to ask you, like, why Gio Green? Where does it came from? Because you have Alexander, right?
yeah.
And why Gio Green? Where does it come from?
Okay.
Who came up
Gio
with that
Green.
name?
Me.
Okay, how?
Me. My name before I was adopted was Alex Joel Giovanni.
Okay.
And so Giovanni, I like I took that part from my original name and I put it into my artist name. And initially, when I was like making songs with like when I was like 14 with friends of mine, you know, my tag was Giovanni. Giovanni in auricular. That's
Okay.
like Giovanni in your earbud. But it was like a joke songs that I did with my friends, you know what I mean? Full of auto-tune. It was so funny. When I started releasing music, I went by Alex, like more recently. I went by Alex Mora.
Mm.
But I don't know. Giovanni was always like, Gio was always like in the back of my mind was always like the artist name, you know what I
Okay.
mean? Gio, I really like the sound of Gio. And so I changed it afterwards, and there was actually some complications on Spotify when I put music. But I changed it to Gio Green because green is also my favorite color. I really
Okay.
fuck with green. And I just like I think it's pretty catchy, Gio Green. And I like the image that comes to mind when I say Gio Green. I think it's like a
guitar player on a
kind of you hear Gio Green and you think like that's like a cool guy, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like kind of like green, like I don't know, like warm, like kind of guy. I don't know.
Natural.
Yeah, if it was like Gio Silver, that would be like a bit more like
I don't want to fuck with this guy.
you know, it's not like it sounds a bit different. You know, it
Yeah.
sounds more refined,
Cold.
maybe a bit more. You know,
Also cold, because for
Cold,
me, in my
exactly,
mind, it's
yeah.
like the Silver Surfer.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cold.
Yeah.
Green is like a nature color.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really like
It
it.
reminded me kind of CeeLo Green.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
No, that's a good, because he has a good vibe. So I was like, okay, maybe.
Oh my god, I have just realized.
This is your therapist telling you
Oh my god.
straight into your face. Like,
Oh my god. Do you know how much thought I put into Gio Green? I was like, no, nobody sounds like Gio Green. This is how untapped market, you know what I mean? Damn, oh my god, CeeLo, you just ruined my career.
no, why, man? Why?
Because now I'm gonna think, man, CeeLo Green. I didn't even think about that. Because
It's so good.
there's Drake, there's another guy called Drake. Like you can't have Drake. You know
Why
what I
not,
mean?
man? If he feels like Drake.
Come on, that's like that guy's always gonna be. You know, your name is pretty close to Drake. You know,
The thing is, man, like, history repeats.
yeah, okay, but I don't know if I want to be CeeLo Green.
No, you don't have to be. That's why you're Gio Green.
Yeah, Gio Green.
Exactly.
Exactly.
the most important thing is that you identify with that. Because
Yeah.
like a lot of people told me like Jear Perry, okay, Perry, you take it from Katy Perry. I was like, I
Did you?
didn't know.
Oh, okay.
Like it's a real name in our country, like,
Okay.
and
Okay.
the meaning of it is angel. So
Where are you from?
from Kurdistan,
Kurdistan. Okay.
yeah.
I've
So
never been.
so
I've never been.
no, it's hard to get that. No, actually, it's 4 hours of a flight from here.
Hmm?
Yeah, it's a nice place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You recommend it?
definitely. Like the media is talking about it like as if it's just constantly war or whatever, but it's not. It's
I,
much better than when I grew up there, but now it's much better.
how long ago did you?
Moved to Germany around 96.
Oh, you moved directly from there to Germany?
Yeah. Like we came as refugees.
Yeah.
And my father came 1 year ahead and then he sorted out all the paperwork
Okay.
and then we took the flight and came
Okay.
to Germany.
That must have been like.
It was so different, man. Like we came to Germany and it was like wow, the way it looks is just different. And then we went
Yeah.
into the flats. In our country there was no flats back then. It was just all houses.
Yeah.
First of all, there was a shock to see like that many high buildings, which wasn't high but for that
Yeah,
time
for
at
at the
that
time, it's
age.
crazy. Oh my god, the scenery shock. Yeah.
So that was one thing, and the other thing is we moved into the house and like there was these heaters. It was the first time in my life to see this. I was like, how?
Oh.
Because we didn't have that.
Yeah. You guys wanted to get. Yeah.
So and then I was like, and my father was like, okay, we have electricity 24 hours, we have water 24 hours. I was like, come on, like this can't be serious. Like,
You're living in luxury.
Yeah,
I guess it'll
exactly.
change, yeah.
So the overall perspective of life changed then. There was a more positive way to approach things.
And do you think, maybe you don't even remember, but socially, when you came into Germany, how was the
There
reception?
was, when the city that we moved in, it was like, I would say 95% of them were, foreigners. So,
Oh, yeah?
yeah,
Okay.
like
95%.
about 95%.
In Germany?
Yeah, man. Like it was that time when everyone was moving. Like I think a year or 2 years ago when all these foreigners came, like with the
Yeah,
boat
but
and stuff like this. But back then it was the 90s, so it was a bit different. And in that city, it was just like full of like Kurdish people, the Turks,
mm,
and
where was it? Well, I mean, I probably don't know the name.
you don't know. It's called Flensburg.
Okay. Is it
It's the
south?
it's
Or?
I think north,
Oh,
close
yeah?
to Hamburg Kiel.
I know Hamburg.
Okay.
Okay.
So anyhow, it was street wars out there. Like it was,
Yeah?
man, it was different. It was like the culture between like the Kurdish people, the Turkish people, and the Arabian people was just like constantly fights. So
So like gangs of New York.
kind of, yeah,
Uh,
but like it was a bit different.
Okay.
Like the school me and my sister went to was, the good thing is I have a brother he's 1 year younger than me.
Yeah.
He went to Grundschule and then from there to the gymnasium like instantly. That was the good thing. But me and my sister were placed into the lowest school and all the people there they just were carrying knives and whatever. So
Oh,
it was a different state of mind.
because you weren't you were too old to qualify to be able to go into gymnasium, or
No, because you had to learn the language first.
okay.
So then being there because we didn't know how to speak German. So being there and then you're surrounded by all these people who don't care about anything. But the good thing is my grandpa always told us like language is like a weapon. So if you don't know how to use it, you will lose the war or the fight.
Okay, yeah.
So that was a motivation for us to
learn
the language
as fast
quicker.
as possible.
Yeah.
How long did it take for you to learn?
I think less than a year. I was 10 years old. Like the brain,
That's easier.
Yeah. It's way different than being like, I mean, my parents came in 40, 50 Yeah, I think 40, something like that. And they also learn the language because my father
Had to.
is, yeah, my father is someone who is like, I don't want to be like all these other guys here, just like get the money from the government and do nothing.
Yeah.
I came to Germany to do something with my life.
Yeah.
And then he started to get jobs and so on and so forth. So,
Are your parents still in that same town? I'm assuming not.
no,
right?
man, we moved after 2 years because you couldn't get a job there because it was so bad.
Yeah.
And then we moved to a different city, which was much more peaceful, where Ali's family is coming from.
Did you guys know each other before?
No.
Okay.
Well, I probably know his uncle there. So yeah, it was different though. Then yeah, and then I moved to Berlin because of a job there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you start your family here? Because you have a family, right?
I have a wife
A wife.
and no
Did you
children.
marry her here?
Yeah,
Okay. It's pretty cool. So how you've been in Berlin for a long time?
10 years now, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
How long you been in Berlin now?
5 years?
5 years, okay.
Or maybe
How was
6
it going
years.
with the language?
6 years. Wir können auch auf Deutsch reden, wenn du willst.
Nice.
Ja. Also mein Englisch ist viel
No,
besser.
we do the English.
Okay, yeah,
The
my
podcast.
English is way better than my German, but
But the way you pronounce it is like it has something French in it.
oh my god, everybody says that. Yeah, everybody. You know, I lived in Switzerland,
Okay.
and I think maybe that has a bit something to do with it.
I don't know.
Because in Switzerland, like there's like German,
Yeah, I know,
French,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and a lot of the Swiss accent is completely different to the
Yeah.
German accent, but I don't know. Maybe that has a little bit. I interacted with a lot of French people, speaking people there.
Okay.
But everybody says I have a French tint to my accent. But also in English, when I get drunk, I start speaking with a bit of French accent. It comes out of the blue. I'm like, what the fuck?
Maybe part of you is.
Part of me is French? No, I did a DNA test.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like half Portuguese, half Cape Verdean, but like
That's it.
exact. You know what I mean?
Okay.
There's no. I even thought maybe I had a bit of Asian because my whole life everybody says that I have Asian-looking eyes.
Okay.
But no.
Maybe your grandparents. Because some people like, depending on how my hair is and the way I dress, some people are like, you're from Mexico, and then
Yeah, you could. I don't know.
no, it depends on the hairstyle and the way I dress.
Yeah.
Because if I just have one button up here closed and
Yeah,
the hair like
cholo,
down,
yeah.
then it looks different though.
Yeah.
So I asked my mom, "What did you do when you were young?" And
And she confessed.
now she was like, "Shut up, get out of the room."
I went on a trip to Mexico. We don't talk about me and your father.
Actually, your father's Mexican. Okay, coming back to the music. What's the plan for this year?
The plan for this year is generally to like really start like last year. I think it was the first time I'm performing like on stage live, and I think I've progressed.
Was with DNA the first time? Okay.
And I think since then I've progressed quite a bit. I don't know. Ali, would you say I've progressed on stage? Yeah. Yeah.
I like Ali. He always has just like positive vibes. Ali
You always say positive stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Nice.
that's the thing. Like, I'm trying to like exactly what he's saying, actually. Like, with the singing, with the performing, and with the singing, like just being more comfortable. Like, I think I really found my voice this last year.
Okay.
Like I wrote a lot of songs before, but like I don't know, maybe a bit shyness in the voice. I just hadn't found like my right tone.
So how was it
use.
yesterday in the studio with us? Like,
It's okay. I don't know. I think we did some good work. No,
no, I mean, like, how was the experience that someone tells you like, do it like this, or like, how was that for you?
It's not the first time I record in the studio. You know what I mean? I've done that a couple of times with like other people and stuff
Okay,
like that.
but I mean, like, with someone who's calm as like Ali and someone who's like me is like, how was that for you?
It was funny seeing you two together a lot, actually. Just the way you would talk to Ali, like, oh my god.
Well, I know him just like for a short time, but I feel like I know him since, I don't know, since many years.
I mean, you probably know his uncle.
Probably, I don't know. Maybe that's where I get the vibe from. I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, my goals for this year is continue on that path of like bettering the performances, maybe writing some songs like specifically for stage as well, because I like when I get the crowd involved as well. And putting all the shit, the fucking songs that I already have like recorded, like I have fucking thousands of voice memos of songs, you know.
No.
I just want to put into like the computer, you know what I mean? Basically that's my goal for this year.
You know what I liked is in the studio session is when artists are open to suggestions, and when they, because I've worked with some people and say maybe if you sing it like this, they're like, no, what do you mean? You know, that's what I liked.
That's bullshit. That's absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
That's what I tell Ali every time when he tells me rap it like, I'm like, hell no, you cannot tell me now.
Okay, so it's bullshit what you do. No. I think if you have somebody especially, I mean, that you really recognize their talent, you know, in the studio with, then you'd be an idiot not to
listen to
listen.
It, yeah.
And like the more variations you have,
it's always better.
The better, you know.
I mean, like it was also a funny thing. Ali was like, do more rough. I was like DMX. He was like, yeah, if you say so. I did it. He was like, how's your voice now? You're fine, right? It was kind of
it's okay, maybe don't take every suggestion then.
No, man. I love to.
You guys were saying when you were telling me to do the falsetto to punch me on the balls, you know, maybe not all the suggestions.
It's just like imagining it. Yeah. You're not gonna do it. No, but that's a nice thing. So, what would you say? How many songs do you have to release
this year?
I mean, overall, like you said, you got so many things.
Oh, how many songs do I have like ready to release, or like ready to record?
Yeah, ready to record.
Songs like that are finished, as in like I have from the first bar to the second bar, and I already know every part of the progression and the guitar, and I have the drums and all that. Fully finished songs, I have about 20 to 30.
Nice, okay.
Then I have a bunch that are just a bunch of hooks. I have unlimited amount of hooks, if I'm being honest.
Like the Nate Dogg.
Like Nate Dogg? Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Nate
I mean, mine are more singing hooks. Yeah, but
yeah, but like
unlimited amount of hooks, and I have like a lot of songs that are like hooks and a verse. You know, a lot.
Nice.
Out of those 30 that are like already fully done, I think I have like 10 that are a priority. Okay. At the moment. Another problem is that it's never stopping. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like every other day, I have a new thing. You know what I mean?
Of course. That's like it's problem. Just flowing like water, man.
It's fucking annoying.
No, actually, this is the good thing, because once it gets stuck, it will have writer's block. Then you will be depressed for a long time, because you'll be like, okay. Like I was flowing like water. Right now, I'm just like stuck in the mud.
Yeah, I mean, I've had periods where I'm like, "What's happening?" Like, thought I had like endless brain of creativity, and I'm like, "Well, I can't make a song." But quickly, it goes back to honestly, whenever I'm feeling down, that's when the most songs things. Come
it's
out.
Always like that, man. It's always like that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we have to wrap it up because this guy came in too late.
That's not true.
It's so true.
That's false information. You guys started early.
We're gonna take it from here. The next time, maybe we'll do a second part.
Yeah. This was awesome.
It definitely would have
really
to.
Cool.
It was great to have you here. So it wasn't as loud the other ones though.
Huh? It wasn't as nice as the other.
Nah, it wasn't as loud.
Oh yeah. Okay, hold on. Let's do it again. No. Hold on. No, man. No. His hand is too soft. His hand has to be a bit more hard, man.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you. And
next time we'll do it with the other cameras.
Definitely, man. Definitely. If the crew's not missing, it's always like that. I'm here. I represent. Then catch you on the next one. It's DNA. And last thing, you want to say anything?
Oh yeah. Gio Green, check me out everywhere.
Okay.
Gio, Gio.
Are we gonna
Green.
put it in down there somewhere?
Yes, here
Yeah,
and here and
somewhere.
here
Yeah.
and here. If you don't put it in all those places, I look stupid.